Hey folks, with us today, Tim Leland, founder of T.ly, a link shortener with over 400k users on the Chrome store. Super happy to have you.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. I usually the first question is what problem your product solves, but I think for link shortener, most everyone knows what it is or used one in the past. What peaked out to me, you founded that by yourself, part-time, and it's a crazy competitive space. So how did you make the decision to go into that space, even though I guess it was crowded already when you started? So how did you make the decision to go into that?
Yeah, good questions. To kind of go back to what you said originally about most people do know what it is that are technical, but I'm actually surprised every day. Somebody will say, "What do you do?" And I try to explain to them what it is, and they're like, "I don't know what that is." So that's kind of interesting. I tell them I build software. But yeah, so it is a very competitive space. That some of them have been around for 20 plus years, and I kind of just stumbled into it. I would say accidentally, but really it was through trying to figure out what am I going to work on next. And I was building Chrome extensions, and what I noticed was there was a Chrome extension that was for the Google URL shortener that had 1 million plus users on it. And right before that, Google had announced that they were planning to shut it down. So in my mind, I said, this looks like a great opportunity to build a Chrome extension originally that would compete against this one that was shutting down, really. So my goal was to build a Chrome extension that just used other URL shorteners to create short links. So I really didn't plan to build my own service initially. It was just the extension that would interface with like Bitly, TinyURL, and all these other tools. And I just wanted to build an extension that, was useful for people. It really wasn't, I didn't have the plan to build T.ly when I started that back in like 2018.
That makes sense. And then how long did it take you to build the first version? Was you a developer by trade? So was that like a weekend project for you, or like how long did it take to get like V1 into market basically?
Yeah, V1 of the extension really didn't take very long. I built probably 10 plus Chrome extensions before. So once you kind of have the basic framework for how to build one, and I interfaced with just public APIs that were out there. So it didn't take me but maybe a weekend to build the first version of the extension.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite fast. So I think that's a great MVP. And then I think the most impressive to like everyone like listening likely is also that you're like above 400k users. How did you initially find traction? Because I think, well, what I know is once you're high in the ranking in the Chrome store, you kind of also get users quite organically. But how did you get that initial push to get up the rankings?
Yeah, so building an extension that does what it says it does. So, it creates short URLs. So that's like a big part, and very, very simple. It's, there's not a lot of like settings or setup. So somebody just installs it and then immediately gets to use it. That's kind of the benefit of it. And then also so Chrome extensions request permissions. So that was a big part is, can I limit the permissions so that somebody doesn't, worry, what is this extension doing? Is it stealing my data and whatnot? So that's a pretty big problem on the Chrome extension web store. So the extension really doesn't require any permissions. It just takes the URL that you're currently on, creates a short link for it. So that was kind of the big thing. And then also I'd created probably 5 other Chrome extensions that were pretty popular. And I used some of those to kind of help market my other extensions. So I have like a weather extension that has close to like 200,000 users. And, just kind of being in the space has helped me to kind of grow it.
And then like tactically, how did you do this cross promotion? Did you have like a small banner in your other extension? Or how did you actually drive users over from the other extensions to the URL shortener?
Yeah. So when, if I think back, when you would install my weather extension, I think you would land on a page that had some of my other extensions on there. So that kind of helps.
So like a confirmation page in a way.
Yeah. So I would say, oh, check out some of these other extensions if you like this one. And then also just through like, SEO, I think helps, because my personal site, timleland.com, is like my blog, but it also has all my, projects on there and all my extensions. So kind of all that helps to, improve the SEO so that when people search, they're finding mine over some of the other ones that are out there.
Yeah. And then from this initial push to today was SEO and like Chrome store app optimization, which is like kind of SEO. Were those the main drivers, or what else drove the business in terms of user acquisition?
Yeah, I think that the SEO and like Chrome Web Store is a big part of it. So, just building an extension that, like I said, does what it says it does and is easy for people to see that. Like, so there are some optimization you can do in the Chrome Web Store, like your screenshots, your description, and that helps. So when you search URL shortener extension, generally mine's at the top because of that.
Got it. So for a complete newbie, so to say, you would say great description, great screenshots, and very straightforward naming of the tool, so that what the user actually gets after downloading the Chrome extension matches very well to everything he consumed beforehand.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. So, and I'm not very creative with my name, so I could have named the extension something fancy, but I went with just the term URL shortener. So that kind of helps for people who are searching for it. It's very clear. Same with like my weather extension, it's called weather extension.
I guess it helps with being found. So it's great naming for that. And then how do you, or at least like what one hears is that Chrome extensions are notoriously hard to monetize. So how do you monetize the app? Like, how is the pricing structure? How do you actually get people to pay you? Because in the end, you somehow need to generate revenue on it.
Yeah, that's something I actually need to probably work on. So I've, 450,000 users using the extension roughly. And my conversion rate on those is not super great, but yeah, so you can use the extension completely free to create short links. But when you install it, it prompts you to create an account. And then anything like if you want to customize the URL, set some additional things, add your own custom domain, all of those are kind of upsells. So from the extension, it's pretty much just, do the basic create a short link. But then if you want to do anything more advanced, like I said, custom domains, set the back half of the URL to be something you want it to be, set it so it expires after a certain number of clicks or a date. Those all require an account, which then requires a subscription after the free trial.
And how much is the subscription then?
Yeah, it starts at $10 a month. And I have like an annual plan that's a little bit discounted that is, more like a $5 range if somebody wants to sign up. And, there's a lot of people that want just a few links. They're needing it for specific, marketing reasons, whatever. So that kind of works well for them.
And then do you already have like the persona who's typically like, is it like a marketing person, or is it, it's a huge user base. So is it very horizontal all over the place, or do you by now have like a very good feeling of no, most are actually like marketers and like real estate agents or whatever?
Yeah, that's a hard question because I've tried to figure that out. Who signs up for it? Well, it's just such a variety of people. It's really anybody who needs to create, a short URL. That could be, a teacher, that could be a business doing a marketing campaign. A lot of people use it for like texting because, you're limited on the character length. If you need like QR codes and need to be able to track how many people have scanned a QR code, all those type of things, it's pretty universal. So any business that is promoting stuff online, sharing things, needs to be able to track it as a potential customer. But generally, like I'm more so targeting the smaller creators, smaller businesses than going after like enterprise. That's kind of been my approach is, okay, let me see, how many smaller businesses I can get. Not that I wouldn't take on a bigger business, but as I've been adding additional, more advanced features, that's where, some of these enterprise customers would be probably more interested to come over and use it.
If you need to hire the right developers and ship fast, then React Squad is for you. A boutique agency that specializes in React and only works with fast growth startups. Get a 14-day risk-free trial and a transparent price of $95 per hour. Visit reactsquad.io to learn more.
And you just recently in May when you went full time, how did you come to that decision? Because in the end, it's like not an easy decision to make to go full time on a project that was like a side project for quite a while, even if it's successful. So what was like your thinking process on and to come to that conclusion basically?
Yeah, it's definitely a tough decision to make. I just, at one point I just decided, okay, if I double down and put all my focus versus just, nights and weekends type of thing, that I could see it potentially grow faster and get a lot bigger. And I also had a lot of new features that I wanted to build that, I could have built, it just would have taken me longer. So I'm really just saying, okay, I'm going to take a risk and put all my effort and energy into building it and just see how big I can get it versus, I might have been able to do it, but it might have taken me 2-3 times as long with the, keeping a full-time job. So, and also I've been doing, building side projects really since I graduated, college. I've built different tools, apps for the last 10 plus years. So I've been kind of having this in the back of my mind for a while and finally just decided, let me take a risk and go for it. And I guess at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, I could always go back and get a regular job. But that's kind of where I'm at with that.
That's amazing. And then are you working on that solo? Do you have like freelancers helping you out? How do you manage all that workload?
Yeah, for now it's solo. And there's some support obviously with customers and then features and then marketing. So I kind of try to split my time between, all three of those things. So, if a new customer has a problem, try to jump in there and help them as quick as possible. Also, a lot of my new features come from them suggesting different things. So, so it's marketing is like the biggest thing that, everybody talks about, and it's probably the hardest for a developer. So I'm trying to spend more time on that than anything else and just really getting the word out. So some of these other tools have been around so long. They have tons of, backlinks, SEO stuff to where, people search and they find, the other tools. So I'm really working on trying to just bring, more brand awareness, I guess, and just more awareness that the product exists. It's more affordable, gives you very similar feature set, great customer support, and, I think competes really well with some of these other much larger, more expensive products.
Let's put a pin in the marketing part because I would love to come back on that. And then a very nitty-gritty question. How do you split your time? I know some people do like marketing week, coding week. I know some people will say Monday through Friday marketing and still they code on the weekends basically. How do you split your time on that?
Yeah, I like the idea of saying a marketing week and then development week. And I've actually been considering doing that because right now it's kind of whatever the next thing I think is the most valuable. So if it is building a feature, I'll jump in and build that. And then, if all of a sudden I have a great idea to build do something for marketing, I'll do that. So, and also I like development as marketing or building like free products that help drive traffic. And one simple one is I just released a tool that's completely free. You can just go and you can go to t.ly/tool/screenshot website and you can put in a URL and generate a screenshot of the website. So I'm trying to build more and more tools that are just free and they act as marketing, but they also, help with SEO and added benefit and things like that.
I here on my notes, I had the question, what is the strategy with the 5 tools on t.ly? So I think I can tick that question over that it's engineering as marketing. And then is this really, because you mentioned that like the Chrome store, like app SEO optimization is like, there's not an infinite amount of things you can do there. So I guess you like reach the top there already in terms of optimizations. And then is the engineering as marketing your main focus, or is it like blog SEO that you're working on? Or what are those marketing things that like you're putting your effort in right now?
Yeah, if I come up with an idea that kind of fits really with like anything to do with a URL, so, like the screenshot tool is an example, I'll build those and as long as I can, do it and it's something that makes sense along the product. But yeah, so I guess to go back to what you said about the extension, that's something I've needed. I have actually on my list is switch focus and actually go in and see what can I do to enhance it, make it better. I haven't really done a ton of stuff on it recently, so that's another one to do.
Yeah, and for example, on the screenshot tool, do you then do like a product hunt launch, or how do you get initial traction for the tool? Because in the end, it's kind of amazing to have a free tool, but also like people need to know about it to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, well, that one, I could do a product hunt launch, probably not. There's other free tools out there. So in my mind, if I could bring in traffic from some of these other tools that are doing it to t.ly, it'll just like kind of boost the overall like presence of the domain and, possibly improve my search ranking. That's something I've been doing a lot of, trying to like learn more about like SEO and how if you build this, I'm blanking on the word, but if you build like pretty much where you have this domain authority around a topic, in my case, like a URL, that's what I'm trying to do, to where I have all these tooling and features around URLs. And then hopefully that will then lead to driving more traffic and, ultimately more signups, more users.
Makes sense. And then, as we said, you kind of recently went full time, but do you already know what like the big vision is? Like, do you have something specific in mind, or is it like so new to be full time that you first need to settle in, basically?
Yeah, I guess my goal is to grow it to be, one of the top URL shorteners out there, which, it's growing pretty quickly. So it's kind of on the path to being one,
how many users would that be? Like, if you would be like, what's the biggest URL shortener out there in terms of usage?
Probably Bitly, tinyurl. Those are kind of the two top ones that come to mind. So right now I'm in the top 5 or 6, something like that. So I'm kind of on the path. Some of the advantages I have is the domain is great. So it's, I kind of promote it as the world's shortest URL shortener. So one of the benefits of it is if you create a short link on t.ly, it's actually short, versus if you go create one on tinyurl, it's like 20 characters long now, because, and some of that's just the age of the, there's only so many URLs you can create that are short, and then you start running out of characters. So just in general, the domain being really short, the fact that I haven't been around as long, so I don't have as many short links on the service. So there's a lot more, short URLs available. So that's kind of, what I'm trying to do is to grow it to be, up there with those other competitors.
I think that's an amazing point to wrap up, and a very ambitious goal. I love it. So Tim, thanks a ton for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. This is great.
If you like this episode, then you'll love the SaaS Operator, a weekly newsletter brought to you by Early Node, with actionable insights from SaaS experts in the industry, delivered right to your inbox every Tuesday for free. Visit earlynode.com to subscribe.